Some always.
Mm-hmm.
Talked a lot about versus season, whether first 7-0 start, first 10-win season, all many other things. But it's probably the always things in the program that have fueled those firsts.
Yeah.
Could you talk about the balance of those things? You want to have those firsts, but you can't do it if all you're focusing on is, oh, we want to do this, we want to do that.
Yeah, I think the great thing for us, and whether it's right or wrong, this is how we've had to do it here during my time, and somebody else may do it different down the road, and that'll be great. But for me, my belief has always been our alignment to a vision of, attitude, effort, character, young people aligned to a vision of how do we do an incredible job of developing those people within our football program, and we've never really wavered from that. We've changed at times. I feel like we've evolved over the course of time, but the always has been, from that first team meeting I ever had here, I said the word trust. And at some point when trust resonates in every corner of this football program, we will have the ability to do great things. And I truly believe when we've been aligned to that vision, and I think it encompasses all those things: attitude, effort, character. What does Coach Campbell say? Man, what is the standard that the kids demand every single day? What do the coaches display in their behavior? What do the people that touch the players every day? It really comes down to that word, and that word is trust. And when that has resonated in a powerful way within our football program, great things have happened. And I think in a program like Iowa State, and our world's evolving, these programs are few and far between anymore, and they're really hard to come by. We're probably holding on, to be honest with you, by a thread, to just be able to produce a football team that competes to the standard that we want to compete week in and week out. But it's really been that value system is trust. And I remember a couple years ago, when we were 4-8, one of the TV announcers said, "Man, do you think you can survive?" I said, "I don't know. I'll be really honest with you, but I know I'm not flinching or changing how I'm going to build a football program. And if I can't survive, or this can't survive, then you know what? It'll be time for somebody else to do it. And I can look myself in the mirror knowing that's what I really believe in, that our job is still, and we all want results until it's your kid. And it's 18 to 22 years old, and it's growing young people from young man to man. And the reality of it is that's my number one responsibility, and it always will be. And that's what I love about my job, and that's what I've always loved about this place. So I think the always piece has been trust, and the always piece, the values that we've placed on building that trust have never wavered. And that doesn't mean we don't have to evolve and grow as coaches and humans, because we all do, the head coach to everybody else down. But that piece of it's been the foundation.
I know Rocco says he doesn't want to have to do it again, but going back to that Liberty Bowl last year, him deciding he's going to talk to every guy coming out the field, he does it in Arlington again. I mean, I can guess where that comes from, upgrading and all that, but when you saw him do that in Memphis and then repeat that just to be like, hey, I'm here for you guys, we're all together, and some of you are going to be back, that whole spiel.
Yeah, I just think, again, when you're the leader, and whether you want to be the leader or not as the quarterback, you are. You hold the ball in your hand, and everybody knows that you touch what dictates a win or a loss every single play. When you're out on the field, you are the leader. And when the leader has the value system that, I would say the head coach has and everybody else in the program has, that has a leadership role, then you're really fortunate to lead a football program that has that. And I think Rocco, it's what's made Rocco special from the time he has inherited the starting quarterback on, is that he has always had empathy for everybody involved. He's always stood and led, whether it was really good or whether it was really hard. And I think we talked about that when Brock was here. The greatest traits I think a quarterback can have is, man, when you do have success, do you give everybody else the credit? And when you fail, whether you want it or not, whether it's your fault or not, you got to stand up to the podium and you got to take it. And I think that's what I've always loved about Rocco, and the great quarterbacks I've been around, they've had that unique trait, and Rocco certainly embodied that every step of the way.
The seniors have been adamant about their desire to play in this game, and Miami and Cam Ward specifically has reciprocated that on the other side. Just in this day and age, how special is it to know that both of these teams seem to be fully bought in and seem to be fully prepared to go on and play this game?
Yeah, I think you're right. In this day and age, it's hard to find that. And again, we got to also realize that this day and age, all those guys We've had some great players that have chosen not to play, and you understand that too, right? I mean, in our past, that's just, you get it. You understand, especially the world we live in and what their options are moving forward. You respect all those decisions. But what's made this team really special is team. And, I think one of the things that I really appreciate about it is when a Jalen Knoll stands up and says, hey, we're going to do everything in our power to be our best in our last football game. I think that's really powerful. And we've talked about all of these seniors so much that, I'm just really grateful to have a class like this that's come through and really aligned to the vision of what this program is about, and certainly giving us a chance to be our best in every game we played. And that doesn't mean we're always going to be our best, but giving us a chance is 3/4 the battle, and this group's done a great job of that.
With last week's news of your extension through 2032, there's a ton of changes that are probably going to be made in college football between now and then, and what has made Iowa State such a great place to be for you and to commit for a long term like that with so many changes on the horizon?
Yeah, and I think every year you evaluate where in the heck are you, right? Like the reality of it. And I think the piece for me that I'm grateful for here is, I think a couple things it's been for me. Number one, my family is really important to me. My wife, my kids. I'm never going to put football in this job or any job over being a great father or a husband. That's number one. Number two, man, you want to be able to lead with great people. And, our president here, what she has meant to this institution, her, just to be able to lead for her and with her at a university like this, what Jamie has meant to me, those relationships mean a great deal to me. And so, again, you go back to the value of trust. I think that's really hard to find. I don't care where you are or what level of sport you're going to be at. It's hard to find people that you have great trust for. And I'm really fortunate to have, great trust in both of them. And then obviously, for me is trying to stand for something that you believe in. And, obviously, their leadership has allowed that to be able to happen here. And again, I know I'm not perfect, and I know, Iowa State's not perfect in terms of how we've always played football, but I think how we've tried to play and the spirit that our kids play with and the ability to give our football program success here and something for this fan base to believe in every Saturday, I'm really proud of that. And, no matter what or when it's time to, take a step back from coaching, I feel like I can look myself in the mirror and say, you know what, we at least tried every single day we walked in here to make everybody really proud of what this program was about, and we tried to do it the right way. And whether that's at the end, whatever it is, and whatever will be written about this time will be written about it. But to me, those are the things that I've always looked at when trying to evaluate, man, where are you in your life's journey, and what are you really about?
Right. And then in addition to preparing for a game like this, often bowl practices are kind of like another set of spring practices in a way, and looking for like the younger guys. Who are some of those offensive, defensive players, second, third string that have looked good so far?
Yeah, I'll say this: it's been a little bit more challenging this time around, just because, man, the injuries that we have suffered have been borderline epic, and so just trying to get a practice in right now is a great challenge for Iowa State football. And so, I